I understand Aaron Boone is going to be criticized today about making this move. My feeling on it is this, okay? You brought in Cortez because you're going to face Ohtani. The chances were you're going to face Freeman as well. He gets Ohtani on the first pitch on that, foul pop to left field with Verdugo, who had made a terrific play again to end the ninth inning, made a terrific play. I mean, he basically falls into the stands in left field, makes the catch, even made the throw back into the infield from standing inside the stands. So you get a great play there, and then you get Mookie Betts up, okay? You know what? All the years that I'm watching, as a Met fan, and watching Freddie Freeman all the years absolutely destroy my baseball team, okay, when he was with the Atlanta Braves, watching him all those years kill us with Atlanta. Do I really want to walk Mookie Betts? I understand the lefty-righty thing. And you could talk about bringing Tim Hill in. Why did he bring Cortez, who hadn't pitched in, forever, and all of that? I mean, we could get into all of that. And why didn't he bring Hill in? Whatever, okay? To me, do I really want to load the bases for Freddie Freeman? Is that what I want to do? I mean, I'll take. You know what? I'm taking my chances with Mookie. I really am. What was it? First and second with 1 out or 2 out? Excuse me. At that point, yeah, 2 out, first and second. I'm taking my chances with Mookie Betts, and I'm not giving Freddie Freeman the opportunity to say, "Oh, okay, you're going to walk Mookie Betts intentionally to pitch to me." And it didn't take long. One pitch, the minute he hit it, you knew it was gone. Everybody knew it was gone. It's a tough loss. I mean, it's first time in the history that there was a walk-off grand slam in World Series history, reminiscent of what, Kirk Gibson did. Boy, oh, God. In 1988 off of Eckersley in Game 1 of the World Series, that walk-off home run. Similar in the fact that both of them are banged up. I mean, Gibson could barely walk. Freeman's been nursing this bad ankle. He actually did leg out a triple earlier in the game. But, there was so many things in this game, too. You could look at the play where Ohtani hits the ball, just misses hitting that home run, hits the ball off the wall. I guess it was the 8th inning. And then the throw into the infield is misplayed by Gleyber Torres. It allows Ohtani to go to third. He scores on a sacrifice fly. That play where it looked like it was a home run by Torres, who's really been good in the playoffs. Torres hitting what I thought was a home run. The guy reaches over to catch it, and they call it a double or whatever they said that was. I mean, that was crazy. Reminiscent of Jeffrey Mayer back in 1996. That one went the Yankees' way. This one did not. There was other moments in the game. Garrett Cole pitched a terrific game. I think that's one of the things you take away and, really bothers you because you got 6 terrific innings. Probably could have went farther with Cole. And, you got the lead in the game. You're up 2-1. Just a very, very difficult loss for the Yankees. They were able to scratch out that run in the top of the 10th inning on that ground ball that, what's his name, Edman, who killed the Mets in the NLCS, didn't cleanly come up with. They scored a run to take the lead. You're feeling good if you're a Yankee fan. And then we saw what happened after that. Here's my take on it all. It's only game 1. It's game 1. If you're a Yankee fan, you want to get the split today. You got Rodon on the mound today against Yamamoto. That's all you really want to do. Get the split in L.A., come home, and, take care of business at Yankee Stadium. But I'll tell you one thing, and Giancarlo, who's been just humble. I mean, how about the shot he hit last night? I mean, this guy's been unconscious. How good has he been for all the grief that he has gotten from Yankee fans as far as what he is in the regular season and the injuries and this contract and whatever? I mean, this guy's been just unbelievable in the playoffs. What is that, 5 home runs now in the playoffs for Giancarlo? He's been just phenomenal, and he hit the one last night basically to San Francisco. But, Aaron Judge has got to start to hit, doesn't he? I mean, what does he have, 1 home run in the playoffs? I guess that was against Cleveland. I mean, he does have to start to hit at some point if the Yankees are going to go on and win this World Series. I mean, you would think at some point he does. But here's the bottom line, too. The Yankees are not playing the Kansas City Royals anymore. They're not playing the Cleveland Guardians anymore. They have stepped up now in weight class, and they're basically playing the best team in baseball. I mean, that's what they were all year, and that's what they are right now. And that's basically where the Yankees are. They're playing the best. As much as I can't stand the Dodgers, I can't stand the Dodgers. I don't like Ohtani. I wonder, by the way, do you think his interpreter's got a bet on the World Series? You think maybe he bet the Yankees in the World? I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? I wonder how his interpreter's doing. Anyway, we'll leave that alone. You know how I feel about that. But, he's the golden boy, so, he's untouchable, Ohtani. But I can't stand the Dodgers. You know that. But the Yankees have moved up now. You're playing with the big boys now. You're not playing the Division III, teams in the American League. Now you're back up to Division I again, playing the Dodgers. Now, I don't know how this series is going to go. I would assume it's going to be a long series. As far as I'm concerned, I'd rather see I have no dog in the hunt here. I have no love for either team, so it doesn't really matter to me. But I would rather see the Yankees win this series based on the fact that I just can't stand L.A. and I can't stand California and I can't stand the Dodgers. So, but I wouldn't get too panicky if I'm a Yankee fan. I think the one thing you want to really see, though, you want to start seeing Judge hit. I mean, you do. Giancarlo's carried him. Gleyber's been good in the playoffs. You got a solid start from Cole, and we'll see where we go from here. But a very, very tough loss last night. I don't know what else you say. I don't know what else you say. Just kind of put this one away as, one we should have had, and we let get away, and now you got to come back today with Rodin tonight and beat them tonight. And I still feel good. If you're a Yankee fan, you've got to still feel pretty good about where you are right now. Get the split in L.A., come back home, take care of business, and, let's go from there if you're the Yankees. But, that was a tough one last night. I don't know how else to say it. That was pretty tough. But, look, it's a long series. It's only game one. But I go back again, and I'm watching the game last night, and I'm pitching to Mookie Betts there. I'm not pitching to Freddie Freeman. I'm sorry. I understand the lefty-righty thing. I totally get that. But, watching Freddie Freeman, as I said, over all the years, look, Betts had great years with Boston, and he's been great with the Dodgers. I'm taking my shots with Mookie Betts every day of the week before I'm pitching. I don't care lefty-righty. I don't care if it's underhand before I'm pitching to Freddie Freeman. And to me, that's the big story. I would not have walked Mookie Betts there. I would have went after him if I'm Aaron Boone, and unfortunately for him, it didn't happen. What else are you going to say? Good show for you today. We'll be on here till 1 o'clock. BT will come on. We actually got a little longer show as Rutgers is not playing at noon as they got whacked last night. Anybody watch that game last night? 42-20, the final score in L.A. Against USC. They started the game at, 11 o'clock. I don't know. You had to be a pretty hardcore Rutgers guy to want to watch that. So we'll actually be on till 1 o'clock. BT will join us at that point. We'll come on at 1. We'll see if we can get BT on. We got John Harper coming up at 11 o'clock. We'll get his feeling on where we are right now in the World Series and all of that. So very good show for you today. I want to get calls in because I really haven't had a chance to get a lot of calls in over the last couple of weeks with only shows up till 11:30. So what we'll do, we'll break here. We'll come back. We'll get your phone calls, as many as we can get in. And like I said, we'll be here till BT at 1 o'clock. Benigno on a Saturday, 888-808-1019 is the phone number. And we'll break here. We'll come back with your calls after this. Time for I wonder what this is. Well, I can only imagine what the turning point of the game was last night. Time for the Wendy's Yankee Turning Point of the Game contest. Wendy's, the official hamburger of the Yankees. Be the first call to correctly identify yesterday's turning point of the game. 866-540-WFAN, 866-540-9326. You get 2 pairs of tickets to a Yankee 2025 regular season game next April. It's all from your flagship station for Yankee baseball, The Fan. All right, Benigno on a Saturday. Want to get to your callers out here. Of course, you'll hear Game 2 tonight on The Fan. You know, one great thing, and I wish I could do this, because I can't take this guy Davis and Smoltz. I couldn't take him in the Mets series with the Dodgers. I can't take him now. I just, I really can't. I really wish, because you can't do it. I tried to do it with Howie with the Mets. You can't do it. I'd much rather be listening to John Sterling and Susan do the games than these guys. But you can't sync it up. If you try to do it, the radio is actually ahead of the TV. And when I was doing it during the NLCS with the Mets, I mean, they were the Met radio was basically almost 2 pitches ahead, not even just one, like 2 pitches ahead of the television. So I'd love to hook up John and hear John. I mean, it's great that John's doing this. I mean, he should be. And I'd love to hear that, him doing the call with Susan. You can't do it. Unless you don't care if you hear it first and then see it. But, that's kind of hard to do. But, the people on Fox. When is Fox or whoever's doing the World Series going to go back to doing when NBC did the World Series back 100 years ago, when I was growing up in the 60s, they always had one of the announcers from the teams playing in the World Series at least doing 2 or 3 innings, right? It would always be Kirk. When I was growing up, it was basically Kirk Gowdy. Was it Kubek or Garagiola? It was Garagiola and Gowdy, whoever was doing it. When I was growing up in the 60s in the World Series, right? Tony Kubek did it as well. They always had announcers from the teams that were in it at least doing a couple innings. Why don't they do that? Why doesn't Fox do that? Why are we subjected to this guy Davis, who I think so? I don't even realize this. Isn't this guy Davis Pat the Dodgers TV announcer? Isn't he?
That's correct.
All right. Why the hell is he doing it? Right? Why do we had to see Ron Darling? Okay, I understand he was working for TBS. He was doing the Yankee series, not the Mets. Why is Joe Davis doing the World Series, calling it for his own team? Why is that?
I would say he used to be Fox's number 2, and then when Buck went to ESPN, he got the elevation, and it just so happens he's also the Dodgers TV guy.
I mean, but it's brutal.
I think he's pretty fair.
Come on. These guys, who the hell wants to hear them? Do I want to hear smart? He's another guy that killed my team for years. Do I want to see this guy? I don't want to see him.
What would be the perfect Joe Beningo World Series booth?
Right now with the Yankees?
Whatever.
Michael Kay, Paul O'Neill, David Cohn, Flaherty. You want to know?
So you want the Yankee guys
right,
in
of course. I'm sure every Yankee guy wants it.
Of course.
Of course they do. You know what they should do? Okay, here's what they should do. And Major League Baseball, because they don't care. Let's be honest. First of all, they could give a rat's tail about the fans because the games start 8 o'clock at night every game. Could you give maybe like today would be the perfect day. You're not going up against the NFL. Today would be the perfect day for Fox to have a 4 o'clock in the afternoon World Series game, right? God, we can't do that. So they don't give a rat's tail about the fans and that the games are on till midnight. Well, who cares, right?
Yeah, I mean that's just those are just the folks us East Coasters though that get screwed with it going late. Everybody else, the game doesn't end too late for.
Well, yeah, if you live in L.A., sure. I mean, nobody cares. Nobody cares about. Why should they care? One of the teams is in New York. Who gives a damn? Screw New York. Screw them.
I mean, you can't really ever start it before 8 on a weekday, though. I understand on the weekend you definitely could do it.
Why can't you start at 7 o'clock? Why?
4 o'clock in L.A. You got a lot of people coming home from work.
No. I don't know. How many of them really work out there? I don't even know. You're probably getting most of the Hollywood crowd anyway going to these games. The real fan can't afford to go to these games anymore. Who's kidding who? Let's be real. They should start these games at 7 o'clock. Can't do that because we got to have an hour pregame. We got to, because we can't wait to hear what Derek Jeter, Big Papi, and A-Rod are saying. I can't wait to hear that. I'm sure we're all locked in for that nonsense. What they should do, okay, they'll never do it. What they should do is allow, Yes to do the World Series games, right, in New York, right? But the problem is they know they're going to lose the entire New York audience is going to be watching Michael Kay and company do the games, right? But that would be the optimum thing. Have your national guys, okay, and then have the regular announcers doing the game. Whoever, let Joe Davis do it on the L.A., whatever, the Dodger network. You know what I'm saying? You like these guys, Pat? You do. I know you're a Cub fan, so you got no
Yeah, but I think Joe Davis is good. I think he's about as clean and as good of a storyteller while staying up with the action and has the voice for the big moments as they come.
Right, okay.
I also like Adam Amin. He did the Phillies-Dodgers series. Did you enjoy that broadcast?
Phillies-Dodgers? No,
Phillies-Mets.
The Phillies played my team.
Yeah, when he did Phillies-Mets. It was
not really. I don't like these people at all. No, they don't know anything about my team. That's another thing. These people don't know anything. What do they know? They're not watching every game with the Mets all year. They're not watching every game with the Yankees all year. I mean, come on. It's a joke. It really is. What they should do, like I said, what NBC used to do, get Michael Kay in the booth for 3 innings. Okay? How about that? Can we do that? Nah. Why would we do that? Nah. It's a disgrace. Please, bro, let me tell you. I could go on and on with this. It really terrible. And like I said, you can't even listen to the radio because it's basically 2 pitches ahead of what you're seeing on television. All right. That's my complaint. Let's go to the phones. Jackie in Connecticut.
Jackie dropped, Joe. Why don't we start with Joe in Levittown?
Let's start with Joe in Levittown. Hi, Joe. How are you?
Hey, Joe. God bless you. I want to make 2 points about last night's game, but, yeah, listening to you, I'm on the road right now with a friend of mine. We're listening to you. We're agreeing with everything you say about the announcers and all, the old days. But 2 points for last night. In the top of the inning, when Volpe got the hit, with the shortstop bobbling ball, why was Rizzo stopping before getting to second base? I don't know if it would have meant much, but I think he could have made it to second.
Yeah,
and maybe, who knows, it cost some more runs.
Joe, that's a great point. He basically stopped. Rizzo basically stopped in the middle of the base path.
Yes.
He did.
Now, maybe
you're right about that.
Maybe he was trying to do a Reggie move. You remember the Dodgers series with the Reggie move.
Yeah,
he would have beat that out.
1978.
And then the other play was Cabrera. I know they brought him in. They took Gleiber out. But Cabrera, if he makes that play on the backhand, it was a tough play. But you know what? In the major leagues, I think that's a play you can make also. So those 2 plays also, besides the fact of Freeman, Nesta, I think those 2 plays played a big part, too, in the Yankees losing.
Well, you can even go back. I mentioned the play with Ohtani in the 8th inning with Gleyber when he didn't come up with that throw to the infield and he allowed Ohtani to get to third base.
Yes.
That was a huge play in the game. So there was a couple different
small plays, sure.
Yep. So there was a couple, that you could really talk about defensively. No question about that. No question about it. Now, it was a tough loss.
Joe, good listening to you, buddy.
All right, Joe, I appreciate it. Very tough loss. All right, Stan in Westport. Hi, Stan.
Hey, Joe. How are you? I mean,
I'm all right.
I know you don't care about either of these teams, but, as a neutral, even though, of course, as a Red Sox fan, I'm a little bit partial to the Dodgers over the Yankees, but I got to say, it was a very entertaining game. I mean,
it was a good game. The game was good.
The pitching duel.
Yep.
The pitching duel was great. Cole did a fantastic job.
Yep.
But I got to tell you, Soto, what's the deal with him in the outfield? Like, he can't judge balls off the bat on fly balls. He could have gotten both of those.
Yep.
He's got a great arm, but he can't jump. It's just amazing. He's got to work on that. I mean, I think you ding him $50 to $100 million on this 20-year deal or whatever he's going to get. But anyway, listen, as far as walking Mookie to get to Freeman, I mean, if you look at their careers, they're almost the same. I mean, they're both probably Hall of Famers if they finish out there.
Freddie Freeman clearly is a Hall of Famer. I don't know. Is Mookie Betts a Hall of Fame? Yeah, Freddie Freeman's no doubt he's in. To me, he's in.
If he keeps the pace, Joe, he is. Because Mookie will get, if he can play, he's 31. If he plays till he's like 39-ish, he's going to get 3,000 hits. He'll probably be real close to 500 home runs.
If he gets 3,000 hits, he's in, of course.
Yeah, he's got 1,600 and change, so he's probably there. But, listen, I think the big problem the Yankees have today is this guy Yamamoto is like, talk about hot and cold. If he's on, he's unhittable. Like the Yankees experienced that back in June. If you remember that game at the stadium, he had, 7 innings, like 2 hits. Like it was brutal. But he can be lit up also. So you don't know. It's going to be interesting.
Look, I got to believe this is a long series. I mean, I think it'll probably – I don't think there's any question it'll be back in L.A. for Game 6 for sure. probably is going to go 7. I fully think this is going to be a long series. I really do.
Let me tell you one last thing, Joe. The best thing for New York sports talk radio all winter into the spring is if the Dodgers beat the Yankees in 6.
Okay,
because
why?
then because the argument between the Mets and the Yankee fans, if they both lose to the Dodgers in 6, but the Mets swept the Yankees and the Yankees got further by going to the World Series than the Mets did, that's going to be a running argument.
There's no argument. There's no argument. I mean, to me right now,
Why?
the Yankees, because the Yankees are playing in a World Series and my team isn't, okay?
That's
so
true.
there is no argument. I got no argument. I don't look, to me, it's pointless to argue who's better. Okay, I know the Mets swept them in a regular season. It doesn't matter. My team is gone.
Yep.
The Mets are not playing baseball anymore. You're a Met fan right now. You got to look to the off season. You hope that Uncle Stevie's going to throw a boatload of money at Soto and not get outbid for him. You know, I want to see Alonso come back. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but we'll see. But I'm not getting into that. The Yankees are playing the World Series. They might be the world champions. How am I going to say the Mets? How am I going to say the Mets are better? I'm not going to say that.
No, you're right. The Yankees can win it all. They can.
Of course.
It's possible.
Of course. They're playing in the World Series. They're only down 1-0. Of course they can win it all, Stan.